What We Do in the Shadows is a TV series released this year based on the excellent Taika Waititi New Zealand movie which it shares its name with. It's a mockumentary which takes a peek at the lives of three vampires who have lived together for over 100 years in Staten Island. One of the main vampires is Nandor, a former soldier of the Ottoman Empire. He is the stand-in for Waititi's character in the original movie, as he pretty much mimics the gentle personality and meek way of talking, which makes for quite a humorous juxtaposed comparison because of his large size and beard. He fancies himself as the head of the vampire crew, and the others entertain his notion just to shut him up. There's two lovers also called Najda and Laszlo. Laszlo gets quite a few laughs out of me. He tends to speak in a kind of faux Victorian prose. It's funny when he says things like, "Unhand me, you bastards," and he occasionally mixes it up with modern day slang and profanity. There's also another vampire that lives with them, Colin Robinson, a white, middle-aged, bold, bespectacled office worker. He's the least vampire-looking vampire you can come across. This character was quite a good idea. He's an energy vampire who can feed off of other vampires also. And the general gist is that he comes to you, talks to you about insurance or the weather, the point being that he's trying to bore the heck out of you, and as he does so, he drains the energy out of you. There's other vampires that pop up here and there as the show goes on, including an amusing one that Colin runs into at work who feeds off of people's sadness, so she is constantly going on about how she's grieving a loved one's recent death or something, bringing everyone to tears all the time. And she and Colin compete for dominance in the office. Probably the most interesting character is Nandor's familiar, Guillermo. He's been on the job for 10 years in the hope that he'll achieve the dream and be turned into a vampire by his master. Guillermo looks like a Teletubby, and he's got this kind of meek and gentle gooiness to him, but when he wants to be, he can be very passive-aggressive. He's involved in some of the series' best moments, and in terms of the story, the show teases us important involvements from Guillermo for the future. The characters don't feel as strong as the ones in the movie, but if you give them a chance to grow as the series continues, they do grow on you. And it's nice that despite many differences they have with each other, there's an underlying sense of harmony between them. The series also utilizes the camera crew quite well, making them part of the gag in places, but thankfully doesn't overdo it. There's one time, for example, where a legendary vampire from the old country comes to visit, and in the middle of an epic speech he abruptly notices the camera and stops, becoming all awkward and sensitive. In terms of the humour, I found the series doesn't have that many laugh-out-loud moments. The jokes aren't that refined as of yet, and it does resort to a lot of toilet humour and vulgar jokes that kind of fall flat and would make a teenager laugh. That isn't to say it isn't funny, it's just that it makes you smile more than it makes you giggle, and I think if the cast and writers are given some more seasons, they can work on the characters and the storylines to make things even better. The series has some standout sections, one such involving the Baron wanting to do a night on the town, not easy seeing as though he looks like an orc from Middle-earth, and another where the main characters are put on trial by a vampire council for murder, which features some juicy cameos. It's quite a good series. It doesn't feel like it's trying to ride off the success of the film and cash in on its name. The characters and plot lines are original. There are some new ideas. The overall tone is the same, but it's very much its own thing, and I look forward to seeing what they can cook up with next season.